Let's get more on that now, because Hong Kong's leader says protesters who've engaged in violence have become enemies of the people. Carrie Lam's comments came after a man was set on fire and a demonstrator was shot by a police officer. Well, our East Asia Pacific editor Michael Bristow reports now.
Even after 5 months of often violent unrest, events in Hong Kong still have the power to shock. Video footage shows a man arguing with protesters. Someone then throws what must have been an inflammable liquid over him and sets him alight. He's immediately engulfed in flames. The man survived, but is in a critical condition. Earlier, there'd been another distressing scene caught on film. As a police officer grappled with a protester, he drew his gun and fired. The man he injured is fighting for his life. The territory's leader, Carrie Lam, condemned the violence, particularly the burning of the man, which she described as inhumane.
If there is still any wishful thinking that by escalating violence, the Hong Kong SAR government will yield to pressure to satisfy the so-called political demands, I'm making this statement clear and loud here. That will not happen.
The leader clearly blames the protesters for Hong Kong's troubles, saying many have now become the enemies of the people. But activists complain of police brutality. Yet more video footage appears to show a police motorcyclist riding directly into a group of protesters. Positions on both sides have become entrenched, and there's little hope the unrest will end soon.
Well, a short while ago, I spoke to our China social media analyst, Kerry Allen, to find out the reaction to today's events on both sides.
The fact now that we're seeing people with guns, someone being set on fire. I mean, these are being shown in mainland China without censors whatsoever, without filters. People are really stunned by this. They're saying that it has shades of terrorism. And at the moment, in both state media and independent media, in mainland China and in Hong Kong, there's a sense that this can't go on. Back in June, the protests originally started because of a want to cancel a controversial extradition bill. But now there are 4 other demands that many demonstrators have. And Beijing is saying that it won't compromise. So it's just deadlock.
You were telling me that actually some of the videos, particularly the video of the young woman being shot at point-blank range, the video images that people are seeing in Beijing and on the mainland are different from what we're seeing around the world. Yeah,
they're missing a few seconds of the original footage. So the original footage that we've seen shows a demonstrator approaching a police officer, and the police officer straight away takes his gun out and points it at the demonstrator's chest. We don't see this in Chinese media at all. What we see instead is a struggle taking place between a demonstrator and a police officer, and it appears almost as if he's surrounded, because a lot of people around him are dressed in black, which is the colour that's been associated with the demonstrators, and another one approaches very, very confidently, and he just pulls his gun out as a means of saying, back off. That's the interpretation that people are getting. So if the images are different within mainland China, so are the sentiments. You were talking to me earlier about the number of people who are calling for quite drastic action on social media now. People are surprised that they're now seeing footage of somebody being set on fire. They don't think of this as something that will be happening in Hong Kong, an economic hub. And a lot of people are wondering why Beijing is still holding back, why the People's Liberation Army are not going in and helping out. Now, there are reasons related to this. Under the one country, two systems policy, China can't just go in guns blazing into Hong Kong. But at the same time, if it does reach a level of national crisis, they can justify reasons too. At the same time, they're hoping that they can just use their soft power and hope that this will all die down. So what they've done in recent months is they've tried to introduce bans. They've banned people from wearing masks. They've banned people from protesting and said that's punishable. They've also banned people from trolling online. They've said that if people leak the details of police officers' family onto social media, they can be punished. But people are still out on the streets. So they're just trying to find ways of getting people off the streets. But yeah, to see this kind of footage today, it shocks people both in Hong Kong and mainland China. That was Kerry Allen.